Our Tennessee State Standard today is, as it has been for several days, to solve linear equations with rational number coefficients, including equations whose solutions require expanding expressions using the distributive property and collecting like terms. Your lesson objective that you need to pause the video and write down: I can, or I am learning to, solve equations with variables on each side. All right, so very important, I have it highlighted in top. We're going to box in terms with each step. So draw the line in front of the sign and box in your terms so that you can see there are two terms on the left side of the equation. Step 1, and you'll need to pause the video to write these down: eliminate a variable. All right, so normally I would tell you to eliminate the smaller of the two variables, but since we have two terms on the left side, we're going to get rid of that variable. So we're going to do the opposite of plus 5d, and we're going to subtract 5d. That leaves us with 8 equals 4 minus 5 is negative 1d. Step 2. Eliminate the constant on the side with the variable. Well, we have one term on one side and one term on the other, so we have nothing to eliminate there. So we're going to move on to step 3. And you won't always have anything to do in each of these steps. Divide by the coefficient. Well, our coefficient is negative 1. So that gives us d equals negative 8. I'm going to put that back in. So 8 minus 40 equals negative 32. We have to put that in for D on both of those. And that is step 4 to check your solution. Let's try another one. Box in. We want to eliminate a variable. So since there are two boxes on this side, we will get rid of 3D. And anytime you don't see a coefficient, it is 1. So you can go ahead and put that in if it helps you. That leaves us 12 equals 1 minus 3 is negative 2D. No constant to eliminate because we have it down to the divide and conquer stage. So we divide by our coefficient and we get D equals negative 6. So this would be negative 18. This would be negative 6. 12 minus 18 equals negative 6. Oh, another one. So we're going to box in our terms, and we're going to have to do this on each side of the equation. Now we're going to eliminate a variable. Well, since we have a variable on each side and a constant on each side, then we're going to pick the smaller variable. It doesn't matter, but we will work through one tomorrow where I do one variable and then I'll work through and eliminate the other variable. But for this one, we're going to subtract 4 in. That gives us 2n minus 1 equals negative 5. Continuing to box in my terms. Now I want to do step 2, which is to eliminate the constant on the same side as the variable. So I need to get rid of this box. So the opposite of minus 1 is plus 1. That leaves us with 2n equals negative 4. Divide and conquer. Divide by the coefficient. N equals negative 2. So this would be negative 12 minus 1, which is negative 13. And this would be negative 8 minus 5, which would be negative 13. So our answer checks. All right, box in your terms. Draw the line in front of the sign. Negative 4 is smaller than 1, so we're going to add 4. That leaves us with negative 3 equals 2 plus 5p. And I think I'll work this one to show you that it does not matter which variable you eliminate first. But let's finish this. So we're going to subtract 2, which leaves us with negative 5 equals 5p. Divide by the coefficient and conquer the equation. P equals negative 1. So negative 4 times negative 1 is 4 minus 3 is 1, and 2 plus negative 1 is 1. All right, now I'm going to rewrite this equation to show you that it does not matter which variable you eliminate. So let's say you want to minus p. It's the same thing as minus 1p. So negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5p minus 3 equals 2. Let's box in those terms again. We're going to eliminate the constant on the same side as the variable. That leaves us with negative 5p equals 5. Divide by that coefficient and conquer that equation. P equals negative 1. So as you can see, it does not matter. So do not start working these and say, I don't know which one to eliminate, so I'm just going to stop right now. Pick one, eliminate it, and move on with your steps. All right, these are more examples. Hopefully that's what it says on your paper. More examples. Box in your terms. Let's get rid of 5a. (3a) equals 21. Divide and conquer a equals 7. So 8 times 7 is 56. And this would be 35 plus 21 equals 56. Check. Box in your terms, draw the line in front of the sign. Get rid of a variable. Let's get rid of 3, it's smaller than 8. Keeps us from dealing with negatives. So that leaves us with negative 7 equals 5x plus 23. Box in those terms. We're going to subtract 23 because we want 5x by itself. That leaves us with negative 30 equals 5x. Let's divide by the coefficient and conquer the equation. X equals negative 6. So that would be negative 18 minus 7 is negative 25. And that would be negative 48 plus 23 is negative 25. So that checks. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $30 per day. $30 per day. So Andy equals 20 plus 30 times D. Buddy's rental charges an initial fee of $36 and an additional $28 per day. So Buddy's equals 36 plus $28 per day. For what number of days is the total cost charged by the companies the same? So they want to know, when is Andy's the same as Buddy's? So we set these equal to each other. We're going to box in our terms on each side. And, I forgot, that should have a D there. We're going to subtract 28D from each side. That leaves us with 20 plus 2d equals 36. Box in our terms, we're going to subtract 20, eliminate our constant on the same side as the variable. That leaves us with 2d equals 16. We divide and conquer the equation to get d equals 8. So 30 times 8 is 240, so that would be 260. And 28 times 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 6 is 22. 224 plus 36 is 260. So 8 days it is the same. And last question, a water tank holds 256 gallons but is leaking at a rate of 3 gallons per week. Second water tank, so the first water tank equals 256. Leaking means it's going away, minus 3G. The second water tank holds 384, but it's leaking at a rate of 5 gallons a week. So 384 minus 5G. After how many weeks will the amount of water in the two tanks be the same? So we set these equal to each other. 256 minus 3G equals 384 minus 5G. Box in our terms. Let's add 5G. It's the smaller variable, but we already know that does not matter. Just pick a variable to eliminate. So that gives us 256 plus 2G. I'm going to box those terms in again and subtract or eliminate our constant. That leaves us with 2G equals 14 minus 6 is 8. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2G equals 128. When we divide, we should get 64. So let's see. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 6 is 18, 19. So, and this would be times 64 would be 5 4s, 20, 5 6 is 30, 32. So 384 minus 320 is 64. And 256 minus 192, 56 plus 8 is 64. And that is the end of our lesson.